Welcome to solverfy.
So here we have the balanced equation for the reaction of hydrogen sulfide with sodium hydroxide. So in the reaction condition, we have given that 1.25 gram of hydrogen sulfide is reacting with 2 gram of sodium hydroxide. We have to find out how many grams of sodium sulfide are present, assuming that the percent yield of the reaction is 92%. So what we have to do first is we have to find out the number of moles of 1.25 gram of H2S and 2 gram of sodium hydroxide. And from there we'll have to find out how many moles of sodium sulfide will be produced uh, in theory, or what is the theoretical yield of sodium sulfide, and from there we'll have to find out the actual yield of sodium sulfide. So 1.25 gram hydrogen sulfide means identical to a number of moles. It will be 1.25 gram over the molar mass of H2S, which is 34.1 gram per mole, and it will give us a value of 0.04 mole. And 2 gram of sodium hydroxide in number of moles will be 2 gram over the molar mass of sodium hydroxide, which is 40 gram per mole, and it will give us a value of 0.05 mole. Now we have to find out which one is our limiting reactant, because the product yield will be based on the amount of limiting reactant. So from here you can see that 1 mole of H2S will react with 2 mole of sodium hydroxide. That means 0.04 mole of H2S will react with 0.08 mole of sodium hydroxide, but we have 0.05 mole of sodium hydroxide. That means this is the reactant which will be completely consumed because it is lower in amount than the required amount. That means this amount will be completely consumed, and that's why sodium hydroxide is our limiting reactant, and we have to calculate the theoretical yield of sodium sulfide based on the amount of sodium hydroxide. So from here you can see that 2 mole of sodium hydroxide will produce 1 mole of sodium sulfide. That means you can write 2 mole sodium hydroxide will produce 1 mole sodium sulfide. That means zero point zero 0.05 mole sodium hydroxide will produce 1 over 2 times 0.05 mole sodium sulfide, or which is equal to 0.025 mole of sodium sulfide. So this is the theoretical yield of sodium sulfide, but we are saying that the actual yield is 92%. That means the actual product of Na2S will be 0.025 times 92%, or 92 over 100, and which will give us 0.023 mole. So this is the actual yield of sodium sulfide produced. Now we will have to find out the mass for this much mole of sodium sulfide. So 0.023 mole of sodium sulfide means 0.023 mole times the molar mass of sodium sulfide, which is 78 gram per mole, and it will give us a value of 1.79 gram. So 1.79 gram sodium sulfide will be found or formed in this reaction condition.